Hey everyone, and welcome back. So today, I thought we'd do a strategy video for the final boss of Cyber Shadow. Now, Cyber Shadow is a game that I completely loved. However, I do know I saw online that some people are having a little bit of problem with the final boss. And during my playthrough, I did come out with a pretty consistent and easy strategy for beating the boss. So I thought I'd share the video of it with all of you here. And it took me quite a few tries to get like the perfect video where each phase pretty much shows every possibility the boss can do. So as we go through each phase, I'm going to be pausing the video at the beginning of each phase just to go through what the phase is going to look like. And then we'll be looking at the particular strategies that really make it easy. Now, these strategies do depend on getting the SP dispenser upgrade from the checkpoint right before the boss. Because as you'll see, I'll be manipulating a lot of SP during the first two phases. And however, with that SP dispenser, as you'll see if you follow the strat, the boss fight becomes super consistent and actually, I would say, even pretty easy. Now, let's get the video started and we'll move through, as I said, the boss fight. So if you're unaware, the boss fight basically has 3 stages. The first one, you're fighting the apparitor, and this stage is pretty easy. The basics of the stage, as you'll see, you'll be getting a drop down from the sky, like these beams coming down from the sky, and they can fall in one of 3 ways. Basically closing in towards the middle, going from left to right, or right to left. Just to let you know, the ones you are hoping for are the left to rights or the right to lefts. The ones in the middle aren't bad, it's just you'll get a lot less damage off than the ones going from left to right to left. But let's go through the strategy and you'll see exactly what I mean by that. So basically this first, you're just going to want to jump over his head as he dashes for you. The first one, I got a middle one. You're going to want to just place yourself in the middle, and as soon as the boss drops down, move a little bit to the side, and don't do more than 2 to 3 slashes, or else you'll get hit by his shurikens. Basically, the next thing we're going to wait for is the phase after he jumps up in the air and drops his shurikens. As soon as he hits the ground, you're going to want to unload your shurikens with your SP. As you saw, we melted through 2/3 of his first health bar. Now, the left to right, when you get that left to right or right to left, now that is the money makers, because as you saw, you can dash slash through the boss for invincibility and pop up right behind him. And this is where you're going to get your massive damage off. If you see, on this one move alone, I'm going to take off like another 2/3 of his bar. So you dash slash behind him, hit him a couple of times, and you're done. Next phase again, you jump up, you unload your shurikens again before he jumps at you. You jump over his head. Now I'm getting the right to left. Same thing, you're going to dash slash behind him, and first phase is over, 0 damage. Next phase of the boss. So I'm just going to wait till it shows up on screen. Perfect. So now that we see on screen, basically what's going to happen is that center capsule of the boss, you're going to have to hit it once for it to open and you be able to do damage to the boss. What's super important is that during each one of the phases, you want to try and stay as close to the center as possible so that number one, the fireball drops in the center. You'll see it will make like a wall of fire that will shoot up. That means that basically when the boss is going to do his phase where he drops the 5 heads, the 5 heads are going to be equally dispersed and you'll be able to be right off to the side and hitting the boss when basically his capsule is open. Because if it drops on any one of the sides, there's a good chance you won't be able to damage the boss through that phase, making the fight much longer and much more risky. So let's go through and you'll see what I mean. And once again, we'll be able to use the dash slash to actually get through the wall of fire. So as soon as you have those 3 balls going down, that you will dash slash through. See, I dropped it in the middle, meaning that I can damage the boss all throughout that phase. Dash slash through the wall of fire, gets you through that. Once again, in the middle, dash slash to the other side. You basically rinse and repeat. And when you have the boss down to 1 health meter, that's once again where you're going to want to unload your SP. You're going to see I'm going to do the rising fire attack, and I'm basically going to burn the boss's health bar down in half a cycle. So you're going to want to open the capsule and then just slash the boss with as much rising fire as you can. Phase 2 is down, still 0 damage. And I would say that's the most important part of the fight. You want to get to phase 3 at full health. Now, just a second. For phase 3, basically, phase 3 is all about number 1, unlocking all 3 capsules. The boss, as you can see, has 3 capsules, one in the middle, one on each side. Your number 1 mission is opening those capsules up because they are power-ups. These 3 floating balls are basically supposed to be like the essence of the previous masters, and they basically help you throughout the whole fight, and that's what makes the third phase actually possible to beat. So ideally, before the first phase fully completes, you want to make sure to have all 3 capsules open, or else you'll start taking damage through certain phases. The one you want to get first, though, is the middle capsule, because that one will protect you through the first part of the phase when you have the dropping fire. So basically now we'll open up the 3 capsules, all the while just dodging those purple spinny things. See, the blue gives you a shield for when the fire drops. The red will give you a slash that basically does the whole screen. And that, as soon as you get it, you want to save it, and you want to slash both of these spikes as soon as they drop. Because if not, they'll spawn spikes all throughout the bottom of the screen and will limit your movement. The faster you slash them, the less spikes you get. So basically, the first thing you do is you wait with the red power-up. You don't waste it on the boss. You keep it for those 2 spikes. Now, at the first part of the boss phase, the little, basically, panels that you saw, the green, like, panels that drop, you don't actually need them because you can hit the boss from the ground. You can still use the panels so that you stay at his height. As soon as you have him down to half a bar, it's exactly the same cycles. The only difference for the second half is that basically now you need the green panels to be able to jump and hit the boss. But it's rinse and repeat. Same thing. As soon as you get the slash that gives you the slash across the screen, you're going to want to knock the spikes out on the side. As soon as the blue ball shows up, you're going to want to take it for the shield to make sure that the fire doesn't damage you. And basically, for the third part of the boss, I'm telling you, slow is better. Every time I tried to go faster on this part of the fight is where I took unintentional damage. And unfortunately, that is the least consistent part of the fight, because you have to manipulate these spinning blades. The way you manipulate the blades, by the way, is that as you see the spinning blade at the top of the screen, when it's rising, you want to be on one side of the screen, as far off to the side as you can. And as it drops, you're going to want to navigate to the other side. What that does is the blade can't follow your movements, just like that. See, I go to one side. As it starts dropping, I move to the other. The blade can't follow you. If you get that center beam, it's easy. You just need to not be in the center of the screen. But that attack is the rarest attack that the boss does. It took me like 10 or 20 tries to get a fight where he actually used it to be able to show you guys. And basically rinse, repeat. Knock out the 2 spikes on each side, get to the platform, hit the boss. We've got about 2 or 3 cycles left before he's dead. And basically manipulate as best you can the rotating purple blades. Basically, the only sort of, I find, danger in the third phase of the boss are those rotating blades. Other than that, nothing the boss does can actually really damage you as long as you follow the cycles. And you'll see I'll get hit in a few seconds because I don't manipulate it properly. Like, no, it's on the next cycle. I'll jump right into the blade because I basically locked myself in. I went to the wrong side of the screen. Actually, this is the last cycle of the boss, I'm pretty sure. And rinse, repeat. Like I said, the third cycle is uber easy. You just need to not go too fast, basically. It's here. Yeah, no, okay, I jumped basically straight into the blade, which actually caused to need an extra cycle. But as you saw there, what I did is rather than wait for the blade to start dropping, I right away went to the side of the screen because I was trying to jump and damage the boss. Tried to go too quick. So you wait for the blade to drop before making your move. And that is the final boss. Now, I am not going to spoil the ending of the game for you, so don't worry, no spoilers, you won't see the ending of the story, but that is the final boss. As you can see, if you do this strategy consistently, you should be easily able to finish the first 2 phases without even taking a hit. And with a whole energy bar to work with on the 3rd phase, you can actually, like me, make 2-3 mistakes and still easily defeat the boss. Like, honestly, at no point during this fight was I really worried that I was going to die. And basically, that's why I wanted to share the strategy with you, because if you understand each one of the phases and basically you know when to basically use your SP in the first 2 phases, I find this boss is really easy. There's probably even a way to optimize the 3rd part of the fight in a better way, probably using your SP. I haven't found it because, as you saw, I tried using the Rising Fire from the ground, but it doesn't hit the boss, and the platforms aren't consistent enough where you know you can get to a position where you can actually Rising Fire the boss consistently. But if anyone did find a better strat for the 3rd phase, please let me know. At the same time, I really want to hear from you. As I said earlier, if you like these kind of videos and you want to see more, please hit the thumbs up button. It's the best way to show me that. Let me know in the comments down below, and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. But for today, that'll be pretty much it. So I hope I'll see you in my next video.